Turn it up. Oh yeah, Black Sun in the hizzle, all for shizzle dizzle. We got an excellent show here today. We got Zanzi. What up, Zanzi?
Very good.
We
Very happy
had
to be here.
we had to go early because we were already in the conversation, man. So what were we talking about? The basketball thing?
Yeah, yeah. And the basketball player who got taken hostages by Russia.
Right. And so you were saying you don't even think it would be important if it was like somebody more important, or you don't think it's important as far as
As a joke, I was saying that nobody cares about the WNBA, so maybe people will just forget about it, right? Uh,
right.
the fact is, right now, it's a high-profile thing, mostly, I guess, because it's in relation to a country in which with which we're in conflict. But then again, those things wouldn't happen if we weren't in conflict, right? It happens with Chinese. It happened recently with Canada, right? The Chinese government imprisoned a guy called the Two Michael guy for spying charges. They executed,
Whoa.
or actually
Spying.
sentenced one to be executed for drug charges. Uh,
Whoa.
yeah, because the Chinese don't fuck around with drug,
No, they don't.
and so it's like you said, it's political. And as a joke, I said if it was LeBron James, people would most likely care more than her. But the fact is, everybody's human. Nobody should have to deal with being a pawn in the games of the powerfuls like that. So,
Yeah, but I mean, I guess there's two ways to deal with this, Shan Zanzi. Number one, and I always tell people, man, learn the laws of the country that you
oh,
live in.
absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Man, do that. Stop thinking that, oh, America legalized weed and every place in the world legalized weed. No, especially if we're in conflict with that country. Not saying that, well, it just so happens we're not in the direct conflict, but we're in the indirect conflict because we're supplying a lost cause, that being goddamn Zelensky and his dumbass. But Jesus Christ, man. I mean, y'all know how I feel about that Zelensky shit, man. That's why. But my thing is, man, if we have a somewhat conflict with that country, and then that country has its own laws, we got to learn about the marijuana thing, man. We can't be so lax to be like, oh, it's not a drug, and everybody don't see it that way. Like you said, China, Saudi Arabia, Russia, they don't, Iran, man.
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right about that. That whenever you travel, you have to abide by the laws of wherever you travel to. And if you go against those laws, you're opening yourself to persecution, right? To be fair, though, if it wasn't drugs and if it wasn't her, it might have been something else and someone else, right? Like
Right,
I said, in China, right, they imprisoned those guys, the two Michaels, on charge of spying.
right, right.
Unsubstantiated spying charges, right? So there's nothing to. I don't think that the Russian government is much more transparent about the reason why they might arrest someone. So they could
Right.
have said, "Oh yeah, well, yeah, she was spying on us," right?
Now, is spying like an arbitrary charge, or is that like a legitimate? Well, I guess I don't know. I guess we have to see the case, right?
Yeah,
Because it seems like anybody goes, "Oh, you were spying." I mean, it's like, well, do you? I mean, how do you? Is that just arbitrary, or is that legitimate charge?
I've never really followed the trials, but I would assume that the easy way out would be to say, well, if we were to reveal the proof that we have that they were spying, we would compromise national security. So just trust us. You know,
Right,
they're
right,
spies.
right. They're spies. Yeah, it just seems so arbitrary, man. And then spying and espionage is those are like serious charges, man. They could, man, take you out of here, man.
Yeah, I'm guessing, right? If you compare that, she might have to do 9 years of prison. That's if she isn't traded. Interesting, right? Basketball player get traded between teams now is going to be a familiar experience for her. She's just going to get traded between countries instead.
So
But
you think it is a bargaining chip? You think she is a bargaining chip?
oh yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
I have not. What else? Political prisoners, right?
Right.
That's not a new concept. So I mean, I'm not saying that she didn't have drugs. She might have.
Right.
I
Right.
don't
Right.
know, or maybe she does. But would that would she? I'm pretty sure she's not the only one smoking weed in Russia, right? Would she have been in this kind of trouble? Would she have been brandished that way by the Russian government?
Well, first of all,
It's
what are the
not,
laws of smoking weed in Georgia? I mean, is it a certain amount? Because it was supposed to be a small amount. So I don't know. Like I said, did they just pick on her? Are the other cases with people getting caught with weed? What is the? That's why I said we got to learn the laws in these other
yeah, no,
countries. Yeah.
I'm not a specialist of the laws of Russia. From what I understand, they're tough on drugs, they're tough on gay people, they're tough on a lot of things, right?
Right.
No, it's uh, it, when you go to those kind of places, like you said, I'm not aware of their laws because I'm not going to Russia. If you're going to Russia, you should read the guidebook before.
Right.
Right? So,
Right. So Deacon, yeah, he said it was cannabis oil, right? But Deacon, what are the? I mean, we you say it was cannabis oil, Deacon, but what are the
but
laws
that's
there?
a very important distinction, right? Because
Right.
even though weed is legal in Canada, cannabis
Right.
isn't, right? Because
Right.
that's considered a transformed product, right? So if it was cannabis oil, it's most likely worse in Russia too, right? So
Okay. So I'm thinking this cannabis oil, I'm assuming had THC in it. That's what I mean, cannabis
oh,
oil.
it could be only CBD, but I don't
Okay.
think they care about this distinction there. I think it's just outright outlawed, right?
Right. So for them to eat, well, damn, man, this is just, oh man, this is bad, man. This is bad, Zenzi. This is bad, man. Um, because my thing is, I guess you got to think about like this is like opportunity, like oh man, we caught a basketball player, and is it just coincidence that this happened? Was it well? I guess you could say it wasn't really. Was it planned or I don't know. It's just damn. It's bad, brother. It's bad.
Like how many people like let's take it that way. How many Americans are currently in Russia for a reason or another, right?
Right.
I'm not aware. Let's say arbitrarily that this number is 500, right? How many of those 500 Americans have any kind of well, are in possession of any kind of cannabis product, right? Let's say 50 of them, 10%, right?
Right.
Why is it the basketball player that got arrested, right? Because she's the one who was flaunting it around. She's the one who wasn't careful enough not to get caught, or I don't know. I've never been to Russia, right? So I wouldn't
Right.
know.
Right.
I'm a weed smoker, right? So
No, but if I was going to
I
Russia, I
don't
would
know.
learn the law, learn the laws. Well, even if I came to Canada, I'm gonna learn the laws, like
Yeah, I
whatever
know, learn the laws, right? But I mean,
Yeah.
if I go to Russia, right, and I learn the laws and I see that they're very harsh on drug sentences and all that, right? And then
Yeah.
I get to Russia and I start hanging out with some Russian and I see that they don't seem to care and they be smoking weed like there's no tomorrow, right? So maybe then you judge, okay, so their law is harsh, but the actual enforcement of that law is not that harsh, right? So
Right.
you start acting like the local Russians, right? So maybe those 50 of those 50 Americans in Russia that has any kind of weed possession on them, maybe there's 10 of them who are hanging out with local Russians that don't care about the laws and seems to be pretty open about weed, right? And
Right.
of those 10, uh, I don't know. I'm just speculating right now. But what I'm saying is that there's a range of reason that could have led to her getting caught. Some of them
Okay.
would have been singled out because she's a woman. Some of them might
Right.
have are singled out because she's uh, I don't know what her ethnical background is, but because she's not white,
Right. Right. Yeah.
so right, it might be just because she's the highest profile person they could get
Right. Right.
for a political trade-in, right? The two Michaels, right, that got captured by China, they weren't anybody special. They were just Canadian citizens, right? And in
Right. Right.
Canada, we just care about our citizens, so it was a big deal, right? Um, but what they wanted was Huawei's CEO that we were holding because the Americans wanted them, right? So, and since we have an extradition treaties, well, so that was the play here, right? We'll kill that guy for drugs, and we'll imprison those guys for life for spying. And they won't ever state it explicitly unless you release the CEO of Huawei, right?
Right, right.
But you're pretty certain that if we release the CEO of Huawei, right? Oh, they might be lenient on those guys because, right? So it's never stated explicitly those things. I don't think the Russian are gonna state explicitly what they want in exchange for that particular prisoner.
Okay, so then will the U.S. Like intervene and offer maybe? Because I know we did that in North Korea with the two journalists. But I remember you said earlier we care more about journalists. You
Well,
know.
journalists is a different thing, right? Because
Okay.
those journalists, I'm not sure the specific story, but they might have been arrested just because they were trying to do their job because there's no freedom of press there. And then
Okay.
it's different, right? Because they've done nothing wrong, right? So you want to get them out of there. Whilst, well, if she had the drug, well, she broke the law. So it's harder to say to
Right.
the country, well, she broke your law, but we don't care, so give her back, right? There's no negotiation around that, right?
Oh shit.
So the thing is, right, for spying, there might be the question about the trial and everything, but if the people in North Korea get arrested because they tried to film something, ah, right?
Yeah, but when they be breaking the law to the journalists, I mean, because I know, like in
Yeah,
Iran,
yeah, no, they're
you
breaking the
can't
law, but
film. Okay.
there's an argument to be made that journalists should, right? There's a freedom of press argument, a freedom of speech argument, a human's right
Well,
argument.
again, but we're taking an American concept and trying to push it on another country. Because, like you said, half the states here in the United
Yeah,
States is
like I've
waking
said,
up
I'm
before.
not aware of exactly what was the case with those two journalists, but I see how it might be easier for the American government to try to negotiate for the release because we don't agree on the crime, right?
Right, right, right.
Compared to drugs, in which people get put in jail for drugs in the United States too, right? So,
I mean, but they can make the argument and say, well, our laws aren't as harsh on marijuana.
well,
So
shit, I disagree with that.
no, I
You see the
disagree with
thing?
that too, but they can use that argument. I know, I totally disagree with that. There's still, like I said, there's still half the states here in the U.S. that look down upon it, but they won't lock you up. They'll give you a ticket or well, I guess in
Oh
some
no,
cases.
they lock you up in the United States for drug. A lot of black people are in jail because of fucking
No, no, I'm
marijuana
talking.
charge in the United States.
Okay, okay. See now you're educating me because I know. Uh, See, that's it's kind of a slippery slope, Zanzi, because you got places here that promote marijuana oils,
Well,
marijuana, for
you've
like
got Colorado,
things.
you've
Yeah,
got California where it's legal, right?
right,
But
right, 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 right.
but before it started to pop up at the start of the 2000s, those legal states, right? Uh, at least, I mean, I'm not a United States citizen. I'm going with what we were taught through Amnesty International and those reports that they were making on the disproportionate uh, presence of minorities in jail in the United States and how harsh drug laws uh, in uh, those incarcerations. But so if you're telling me that this is not true, that nobody ever got put in jail for possession of weed in the United States, then the argument would be different. But
Right, right.
understanding of the judicial system and of the proportions of people in jail in the United States for non-violent drug uh,
Right, offenses.
offenses
Hmm.
tells me that maybe not all the states, but a good amount of states are not more lenient towards drugs than Russia is. They're definitely more lenient than China is because nobody got executed over drugs in the United States as far as.
Right, right.
But Russia 9 years. I mean, I hear about 25 years for weed in the United States. If I remember.
Right, right. Well, I think China is still on the same level as the Middle East, man. They really archaic. Russia has gone a long way, but I got Deacon put in the thing. Russia said that they are open to talks as of yesterday. Okay,
No, so
so there's a
they
better
might
news.
be they might be more transparent than China. Then I mean, credits to them, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's a political prisoner. Give us what we want, and you'll get her back, right? Okay.
Right. And so now I think there's going to be because here in the U.S., man, they still trying to push the damn Ukraine war, man, and they trying to say, oh, they got these new missile launchers that go 60 miles an hour, so they can fire and they can take off. And I'm like, dude, y'all are lost, man.
60 miles an hour.
Yeah,
That's
60 miles
slow
an
for
hour.
a missile, man. That's I'm, if you've got fucking 60 miles an hour missile to try
No,
and
no, 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 no,
intercept
no. 60 miles.
hypersonic
No.
missiles.
No. The,
Okay.
the the vehicle goes 60 miles an hour, so
Oh,
they can shoot it and they can get the hell on. Most of those vehicles are slow, so they're saying that they don't. As soon as they shoot, they won't become a target.
okay. So
But what I'm
missile launching platforms that are faster. Then okay.
yeah.
All
But
right.
what I'm saying, Zanzi, is that now you're saying okay. So now, Deacon of Reality says that they're open for talks, so they
Yeah.
know they got a bargaining chip now. They're like, look, man, we got one of your basketball players over here, man. What y'all want to do? So, uh,
Well, you're an American citizen, so what do you think, right? So, what do you think the American population opinion would be? Would they accept to um, would they accept to have their government stop all sanctions and all sanctions to Russia and all weapon sales to Ukraine to get that basketball player back? Right, that's the question in the end. Or
good question.
what would the population be ready to give in those negotiations for that basketball player? We stop selling weapons, or we stop selling one kind of weapons, or we remove all sanctions, or remove that particular sanction, or what's the right? And again, I'm asking what the population would accept to that go, but is that even
Well,
the question?
uh,
Is the question what's the government ready to that go, right? So,
well, let's look at this. Okay, so first of all, she's somewhat of a sports celebrity.
okay.
Somewhat. Okay. Number two, she's a black woman,
Hmm.
and number three, she's a gay woman.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know
She's
that
a
part.
lesbian.
So
Yeah.
when I was saying that, because Russia is known to be a pretty homophobic place. They don't like gay people,
No,
right?
they don't.
So
No. Mm-mm.
that's she's got like a fucking she's got a fucking hat trick on her, right? She's
But
half.
but but you said as far as American citizens, you got a lot of American citizens that'll rally. You got the black community, then you got the sports community, and then you got the gay community. So you
Oh,
got a large person in the U.S. that will rally behind her and make demands like, hey, and then the weed smoking population. That's a whole different demographic. So you got the black population,
yeah, but
the
they
gay population,
don't
the
get
weed.
up for
You
much,
know,
right? They're gonna forget to go to the thing where they have to support because they're gonna be high, you know.
I mean, okay, so Deacon says you're right. It's going to be a serious bargain, Zanzi. Yeah, it's gonna. I think it's gonna be a serious bargain. But we talking about a conflict that the U.S. wants to push. So I think this is a great pushback. What do you think, Zanzi? I think this is a great pushback, man, because I think, like I said, they're losing that war, man. Ukrainian is they're losing that war, but
Wait.
now Russia has this bargaining chip. Say, hey, we're willing to work with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Like I've said, we're all we're all humans, and no humans. Like, it's like
You don't, but you don't see nothing serious coming out of it.
the, I'm not. Let me the iron hostage crisis, right? Uh,
Uh-huh.
how many of them were there?
Wait, say that again.
How many hostage were there in that incident, right? And it's the United States usually, from what I understand, don't like to negotiate under that kind of pressure, right? So
Right, right, right,
I'm not
right.
sure what one basketball player is going to get the government to do.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, but we've done it before, Zenzi. What I'm saying, historically, we've done it before. Like I said, with the journalists, and also, well, damn, I hate to use that guy that got caught in North Korea stealing the painting, and he came back in a wheelchair. Actually, let me not use that
Wait,
example.
the
That's
guy stealing a painting. There's a guy who got caught for stealing, and the United States government bailed him out.
no, they didn't bail him. They didn't bail him out in time.
But
Eventually,
they did bail him out.
they did bail him out, but he came back in a wheelchair because that hard labor.
So okay, so that's interesting, right? Because,
He
like
came
I've
back as
said,
a vegetable.
the
He came back like
journalists.
this.
Oh yeah. So the journalists, for me, like I've said, it's a crime that's easier to argue we're gonna bail them out, right? The
Right,
drug charge is it's harder to argue we're gonna bail her out, but the theft charge that would be hard to argue we're gonna bail him out.
right.
But like you said, he came back looking like he was being tortured.
Right,
So
right.
the
Oh,
other thing,
Deacon said he died, but hey, Deacon, they can say, "What? Hey, we gave him back to you alive." Now he died on
that,
American property. That's y'all.
so
They can
that's
say that,
yeah.
Deacon.
That's usually how they handle it. But
Right,
that's the other thing, right? So we might try and get pretty much everybody out of North Korea because we know that they're going to get tortured. And that's against human rights. And it might be seen, right, bailing him out, not as a way, he's going to go to prison when he gets to the United States. But we're not going to let him get tortured in North Korea, right? So that might be the play here, trying to get him out of North Korea.
no, he won't even get.
That's what,
No, he won't. He won't get go to jail
no, I'm not talking
that's a
in this
misdemeanor.
specific. I'm not talking about
Oh,
this specific case.
okay. Oh, just
When they
okay.
saw that he was fucking fucked up, maybe they took pity on him, right?
Right,
But
right,
the thing is, I'm thinking that the reasoning behind extracting a prisoner that we know committed a crime, that we acknowledge is a crime, might be that the judicial system in that country would lead to inhuman treatment of that individual. And since that individual is still a citizen, we have to take him out of that perilous situation,
right,
and bring it in a more accepted punishment environment, right? Instead of having him in a death camp, we're going to put him in a nice prison in isolation, right? So
okay,
there's a difference there, right? That's what Amnesty International does, right? They try to make sure that prisoners, even though they're prisoners, have their rights respected, and that people who shouldn't be in prison don't don't stay in prison, right? And that's because honestly, that's not the subject I prepared to. I thought we would be talking about first
Oh
love.
no, no, we can. Yeah, yeah,
It's fine.
we can
No, no,
jump
no,
on. Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
it's fine. But that's what I know off my head, right? What
Right,
I've learned through my when I was at school, that was one of the social things that we did, getting involved with Amnesty International. And
right.
Amnesty International is one of those organizations, unlike Oxfam and Docteurs Sans Frontières, or it's what's Docteurs Sans Frontières? Border. It's Doctor Without Border. Uh,
Doctor, yeah.
I haven't heard yet of a scandal involving Amnesty International, so that's not too bad. But yeah, so but that's part of the weekly news, if you will. That's something I've seen around, but I don't know. It didn't resonate with me as much as if they would have said that fucking three BBC journalists got captured by Russian forces, right? Because they were trying to film a protest in Russia or something, right?
Right, right.
So that for me would be an international incident. Someone getting caught for drugs. Eh, I'm not even sure that the country is going to negotiate for them at that point, right? Especially in Russia, where they're not expected to get tortured, right? They're just going to be put in jail, you know.
So you're saying that America just gonna say, oh well, she committed drug because Russia's saying,
I
yo, we're
wouldn't
gonna
be I
negotiate.
wouldn't be surprised by it, and I would be fine with it in the context, right? Uh, but Russia for sure might think it's a bargaining chip. Is like, yeah, 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 okay, we got her now. What can we get for them? And maybe
Right.
the United States is gonna say, fuck out, nothing, man, keep her, and
Yeah,
they're
but
gonna be like,
that's
oh
gonna look
shit,
bad on the U.S. That's gonna look bad on the U.S.
why? I mean, would it be the first time that they leave someone? If she would have been arrested in the fucking in the fucking UK for cocaine possession,
Right.
would it have been a scandal? No.
No, it wouldn't be a scandal, but
If she would have been arrested in
it,
Russia before the Ukrainian invasion, would that have been a scandal?
I mean,
No.
but you gotta look at it's oil. It's cannabis oil, not a pound of like cocaine. So
No,
I get
but I mean, it's illegal there too, and she should have known because she should have known the laws, right? I mean,
right.
if we remove the Ukrainian conflict situation, right,
Hmm.
would her conviction being discriminatory? Would she have been treated any different than anybody else who got caught in Russia for the same
Right.
crime, right? If the answer to that is no, there's nothing to be done. There's nothing. You can be upset about it. You can disagree with it, but that's the law of the country, right? And
Right. Right.
so, yeah. But if a journalist got arrested in Russia for filming a protest, be it during the Ukrainian scandal or not, that would have been an issue, right? That would have warranted negotiation between the two countries for the release of the prisoner, right?
Right.
So that I think is the main difference here.
Wow. Deacon said Biden's presidency is really on the line behind this matter. He has no choice but to get her back. Hey, that's a good point, Zanzi.
Yeah,
That's
well,
because you talking about Biden's
but
base,
but
black
is it?
people,
Yeah,
huh?
you're getting where I was getting. I think
Okay,
about
okay,
you're talking about Biden's base, right? The
right.
black gay woman,
Yeah,
right?
black, gay,
So,
woman, yeah,
but
liberals,
then
weed smokers.
the action of getting her out, would it be motivated by ethics and respects toward the law, or would it be
Mm,
motivated by popular pressure?
popular pressure.
And is that the good way to go about things?
I mean, if you want to get reelected, yeah, because
Again,
he's
my
already
thinking is that democracy should be something about the pursuit of truth, not convincing people that you're popular enough to be the king of the class. But
I hear what you're saying, Zanzi, but you gotta put yourself in Biden's shoes. Already the gas prices are fucked up. Black people think he's fucked up. They're waking up saying, no, this motherfucker is bad. Black people are really starting to realize, you know what? And these are people that didn't like Trump. Trump wasn't such a bad president. Because they looking at the gas prices, they looking at the food prices, they looking at the goddamn housing market, they're looking at all this, and they're
yeah,
looking at like we're not going to reelect your dumb ass
no,
to
that's for
Biden,
sure. I mean,
right?
if we're just looking at it as far as re-election strategy goes,
Right.
of course, he's gonna. But
Right,
then
because
again,
the woman represents
base,
all
the
the
same
base.
the same base that want her release is the same base who are waving Ukrainian flags, who wanted us to support it, right?
Right,
So
but they don't. I mean, but Zanzi, they a lot of these people are followers because the news say, "Oh, support Ukraine." They're waving the flag because they don't even know. They don't even know there's Nazis over there. Like there's like little neo Nazis over there. They don't know about all that
there's no
shit.
Nazis everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, but no, I'm talking about actually legitimately in the military armed forces openly got I'm
Yeah, well,
so
I mean, their military is a little bit less organized. They're in a war situation, so
right.
battalions, quote unquote, form themselves pretty much whenever they want to at that point.
No, but if you got okay, let's just say you have people here in the US that are liberal. They're not going to be down with the Nazi cause because Nazis are more right wing. You know what I'm
Okay, so
saying? They're
if
more
Mexico invades the United States, don't you think that the Ku Klux Klan is gonna start waving their guns around, trying to form fucking militia and battalions, trying to fight the Mexicans? Yes.
oh
So the
yeah,
same
I
thing
got
is
you on that.
true with
Right.
the neo-Nazi in Ukraine, right? So it's been going on for fucking 8 years, right? So
Right.
they had time to organize since 2014.
Right. Okay, but okay, but and we can get to I know because I know you want to get to the topic really bad. Um I don't want
No,
to take
that's
up too much.
fine. We can.
Okay.
Young guy wanted to be there for that topic, right? So we can wait for young guy and just speak about current events today. That's fine with me.
Okay. let's just say this. I mean, you got all the bases, like I said, I covered. You got the liberals, the liberal weed smokers, the black people, the LGBT, the sports people. You got all, I mean, that represents a very large base.
Mm.
Hispanic who already fight the Mexicans. Oh, how. You got a large base over here that they already they're already seeing like look, weed, really weed. I mean, the oil, like a lot of people use that for like their joints and pains, and it's like they don't see it as a serious crime. They don't compare it to like opium or or cocaine or something like that. So my thing is that, and plus Russia is willing to negotiate. Zanzi, they're saying, look, we're willing to negotiate. We don't. Basically, they're saying, look, we don't want her. Come get her, but you got to give us something in return.
No, they're saying we took her because we wanted to negotiate with her.
Right,
Like I said, they're more transparent than China on that point. So credit to them. Being honest is always a good thing. It's like the Empire in Star Wars. They're not shy, they're not lying to you about what they want to do. They want to fucking take over the galaxy, right?
right.
The rebels, though, they're lying to get their point achieved, even though they want the good thing. Right? But the thing is, um, again, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure that the United States should care, but like you said, they might be forced to care by popular pressure. But
Right.
the fucked up thing is since, right? Because
Yeah, and it looks worse when
if
you got
if
the
if
pressure and
if
oh,
the
go ahead.
people who won't vote for Biden anyway were the people who wanted Ukraine involvement, right?
Right,
Then it would be easy, right? Because he would be playing to his base not only by uh, not involving himself in Ukraine, but by taking the step of not involving himself in Ukraine to get that prisoner back. But the fact that the same people who want the prisoner back are the same people who want to be involved in Ukraine, that makes the negotiation a complicated thing because he can't just remove all support from Ukraine because whatever he would gain by getting this prisoner would be offset by leaving Ukraine dry, fending for itself, right? So
right.
strike a balance there with his
But hold on, Yanga. All
we
Putin
have
wants
to make
is
sure that Putin accept this balance that will satisfy his base, right? So
I
it's
can already tell you what Putin wants. Putin don't want Ukraine joining NATO. That's it. That's why we're having this
I don't
conflict in the first place.
I don't think that's the only thing they want at this point. At this point, whatever territory they got in Ukraine, they want it officially theirs. That's something else they want.
Oh, so they just want Russia after they done won these territories. Oh, they just want to back off? No, they got that, baby.
But
Whatever
that's what I'm
territory they
saying.
got,
I'm
they
saying
got.
I no okay no you said Russia doesn't want Ukraine being a part of NATO and that's it,
No, right,
right? That's not it. That's that plus all the territory that we've took as part of this operation. We want it now officially recognized as ours, right?
right.
As Russian territory. So that would require Ukraine to give up that territory, right? Because right now they're still fighting for it. So I mean, uh, oh, okay. Well, okay, no, no, no. I think I misunderstood. Yeah, I misunderstood. You said that you think that to get her back, it would be sufficient to just promise that the United States would oppose the entry of Ukraine in NATO. Is that what you?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. No. That would actually be most likely.
And
But would
and and to rewrite and re-honor the Minsk Accords, which is basically don't be, Putin claims that Ukraine was violated the Minsk Accords and protect his borders, basically. So I don't think it's a whole lot. I don't think it's too bad of a negotiation there.
I mean, yeah, that would be a big commitment. A big commitment. The United States. It would be a big 180 of a big talking point the United States have been clapping around, which is that the Ukraine has a right to its own autodetermination, and we can't. If they want to join NATO, it's not our place to say no, right?
Right.
So that would be a big 180 on that. That would be interesting if that's what they get out of it. Well played, Russia. What else do you want me to say?
Well, we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. Now, I know you came in for another topic, man, but we're gonna have to see with this whole situation, man. But yeah, I didn't realize. Damn, we went halfway into the show talking about that, and I do apologize, Zanzi, because I know you had some stuff for us, you know. But
Oh, that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, man, I just was like, wow, this. But you know, but now that Deacon said, yeah, they're willing to negotiate. That really puts a whole. That's gonna put pressure on the U.S.
Well, yeah, because they're opening the door to it, right? The United States don't have to make explicit something that's implicit. Russia made it explicit right away. Yes, she's an hostage for negotiation, right? Now the United States have to either say, yeah, no, we don't want her, right? She committed a
Right,
crime, so keep her, or, well, okay, what do you want for it, right? So the next step, the ball is now in the United States camp. So if Deacon said it was today that they said they were they said that they were open to it. So I'm guessing by tomorrow they should have an answer, right? Or do you think it's
well,
gonna
how
be?
long these negotiations take? They been taking more than a couple of days, don't they, or at least a week?
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, the negotiation is offer counter offer, right? So the offer and counter offer
Right.
might go on for a while, but right now, when are we expecting the counter offer from the United States government? Is my question.
Right. Well, it won't take them that long, the U.S. to say, we are willing to come to the table about the negotiations. It shouldn't take the U.S. that long. Now, I agree with that. They should say something by them all saying, okay, we're willing to sit down with talks. It shouldn't take them long to do that. Now, the actual talk and actual negotiations, that'll take longer. But the
Mm,
initial saying we're willing to talk, that shouldn't take long at all. Like, why would that take? It's either yes or no.
mm.
You willing to sit down at the table and talk about the situation?
You might want to wait a couple of days to see are the people are gonna pressure us or not, right?
Right.
Do people want her out or not, right? Because if everybody's saying, well, she did a crime, so she should do the time, they
10
might
years though?
we give 25 in the United States, right? So she got off better there. So,
I mean, I'm just saying, Zanzi, we don't. I mean, people, again, you got to look at, that's why I say study other people's laws in their country. We in the US we're not going to process that. We're not going to process, give this woman 10 years for some oil, for some
yeah.
cannabis oil. We're not going to process, we're not going to accept that. We're not going to, so we're going to put pressure on the American government, especially when that country that sends her to 10 years saying, we're willing to negotiate. So it puts double pressure on our government, double pressure on pedophile Biden. There, yeah, it's there. He's got to do something. He's got to. Now, will it involve Ukraine? Will it involve them not joining NATO? I don't know, but it's going to be something because America has to get that girl out. They got to get Brianna out, man. The
Man,
more it circulates in the media, the more people talk about it, the more America has to do something.
well,
Especially when Russia says we're willing to negotiate. When's the last time you seen China say we're willing to negotiate, or any other country say that? Russia saying we're willing to negotiate. They're playing, man. They shit.
they usually don't say it. That's true, right? They
Right. They
usually
usually
wait for the other
They usually
government
execute
to.
whatever person that got a drug charge. They execute them. Let me say this because people don't understand this in the U.S. When you go to other countries and you get a drug charge, that's your ass. You're done. You're done. A lot of times you're executed. So yeah, and you got Russia saying we're willing to negotiate when other countries will execute you, like China, like Iran. We can go down the list of countries that will X you out of here, get you up out of here quick.
Yeah, but back in those countries, they do that to their own citizens too, right? In Russia, I
Yeah, they
don't
do.
think you get executed for drug. You get put away for a while, but I don't think you get executed. Is capital punishment even a thing in Russia? I'm not
I
sure.
think it is. I think it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. Yeah, we talking about, man, they still have rules on the books when Stalin was around. That Stalin put in place. So yeah, that was his number one means of control was executions.
I've heard rumors that some prisons in Russia were still basically gulags to some extent, but I'm
Right.
quite not sure about executions. I'm not. I don't remember the last time I've seen an execution in the news in relation to Russia. I
Oh, damn, Zanzi, you just made it. Okay, so Deacon said they just arrested an NBA player in Houston, and since he had over 6 ounces with a gun ammunition, he's definitely doing some time.
Yeah,
Ooh,
having a gun with where you
yeah,
have drugs, that's the big killer in relation to drug charge. You know.
that's true. Yeah, 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 Deacon. That's kind of yeah, over 6 ounces. So then already you got a felony. Then you got a gun. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, yeah. I don't think you put this. And then we talking about Texas. We
Uh,
talking about Texas. Oh
you get a
damn! That's
different kind of hat trick. Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you get the
Right,
different kind of.
right. And then Twin, good point. Twin said that's an automatic felony. The oil, well, then again, Twin, we don't know what felonies are over in Russia. So learn the laws of where you're going. Go out of country, go to another country, foreign country, learn their laws. In fact, if you got a friend that wants to go anywhere, tell them to come to the arena first. I'm going to tell them learn their laws, come to the arena first, then go to other countries because we're going to talk about international goddamn laws and how it affects people.
Shit,
This is what we got.
I might go to in January. My friend's been going to Jamaica for the last 3 years, renting a
Right.
house there during the winter, and he
Okay.
wants me to come with him this winter. So, knowing
Okay.
that you've got some Jamaican ancestry in there, I might ask you if you know the laws of the land there.
Okay. So I'm glad you asked that. Jamaica is just like the Jamaica. You can go there. It's kind of tricky because you're a tourist. They looking to get money out of you, just like Jamaica's just like Mexico. People there smoke weed. It's no big deal, but because they see you there doing it, then they might want to, give you a ticket, give you a fine, this and that, because
Yeah, because they want that bribe money.
they want your bribe money. Right? It's just like Mexico, Jamaica, Haiti. These places, no, these are poor countries. First of all, okay. So what you got to do, like me, is I got the dreadlocks and I kind of blend in and I don't look don't first of all, if you're from Canada or America, don't go flashy. Don't go I know it's hard to say, but don't go looking like you got a lot of money
No.
because the people there are hungry and the goddamn police there are hungry. So and then the court systems there are hungry.
So
So
if you look like you got some, they're gonna think they can get some.
right, right, right. So look like I'm not saying don't look like a bum, but look like you ain't got no money to spare. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just look like a I mean, it's oh man, it's hard to it's not it's hard to explain, but it's not hard to explain. Don't look like you got a lot of money. Don't be flashy. Don't try to blend in as much as you can, Zenzi. Try to blend in
Yeah.
as much
Well,
as you can. Try to you use a lot of your street smarts. Look, take all your street smarts.
yeah, that's what my friend actually he's been going there for 3 years, and
Yeah,
that's one of the first thing. Well, he decided to not go to a hotel or resort and rent a house there for a
yeah,
couple months just for to blend in, but to also be able to enjoy the actual culture of the place, right?
right,
Instead of
right,
living into a westernized environment near the beach. And but that's it. What that's exactly basically what he told me, right? You just
right.
gotta look regular, right? Because
Yeah.
he knows I wear a lot of jewelry. He said, leave that at
Oh
home.
no, no, no jewelry.
Yeah,
Yeah, no jewelry.
yeah.
Uh-uh.
Basically, he said, just, the same way when you walk around in Montreal, right? You look at the goddamn place and you'll know if it's a place where you should go or not, right? So,
Right, right,
use a street mark, exactly, right?
right.
So it's,
I mean, I do that here in the US. Like a lot of people, they make fun of me because I have my work truck, then I have a regular truck, and then I have a hoopty. So if I'm going to go to the hood, I drive the hoopty. And people, oh, look at Black Son, his car looks right. No, it runs great. It just looks that way. So when I go through the hood, I blend right in. But people they don't think about that. A lot of people with money do that. They get hoopties and they go to the hood, they buy their drugs, they do this and that, they do whatever, and they do it in their hoopty car. Every person with money has a hoopty car that don't want to flash because they know if you go into a certain neighborhood and you got a flashy car and you got flashy jewelry, flashy this and that, you become a target. So even here in the US, I don't do that. So I'd be damned if I go to Jamaica or Haiti and do that. or Mexico.
Yeah, no, you walking around with your Rolex and your
Mhm.
Cartier glasses in the middle of fucking Nassau. uh,
Yeah, okay. Trevor made a good point. He says, "I'm Jamaican. You don't want to go there flexing." Exactly, Trevor. Good point. And you don't want to do that in U.S. either. I wouldn't want to go to Canada where Zanzi is and do that. And you know what I'm saying? If I'm going to go to some rough spots, because everywhere got rough spots, and wherever you got rough spots, people are hungry. So I'm not going to go to Jamaica, Canada, or even the U.S., even Russia, nowhere and flash, man, because man, there's people ready to rob you, man. Even the police. Shit.
no,
So
and uh, over not wanting to get robbed, right?
yeah,
The point is, the more important point is what you said earlier. Those are places where they don't have much means, so
right,
it's respectful to go and flash those things and basically saying, yeah, that's nothing where I come from, right? We got
right,
plenty of that, right? It's an invitation to basically have people say, well, share some of that, right? Uh,
right.
it's no, and on the contrary, what my friend told me, and that's something that I agree with. He's saying, prepare like when you come with me, he waited to invite me because he wanted me to have money because he said when we go there, we try to inject some money, right? To try
Right,
to share that, but through experience in the community, right? We don't
right.
we just go and help their economy run, right? As
Right,
much as
right. No, I see what you're saying. Right. You want to kind of help the economy, but do it low key though. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got what you're saying.
but do it low
Don't
key,
just
but
go.
do it by going in restaurants, doing by
Right,
engaging with the locals and getting a guide, getting things like that. Right, engaging with people, trying to understand how they go, how you can help them. Right,
right,
that's why that's how my aunt used to she used to now that she got a family less so, but before she had her kids, she used to move a lot around for a job, but she never wanted to go to an hotel. She went into youth hostels, right? Even though the
right,
owner was technically paid by her job, she preferred using that money to try and inject it in the local economy and try to support people that she got to meet, right? She's not a millionaire, but if she got some spending money, she's gonna try and she's not gonna go and spend it at McDonald's,
right.
uh, getting your money to the Americans there, So fucking yeah, that might be pointless what I'm saying right now, but I thought that was
No,
important.
no, I get what you're saying. I mean, it's like you don't want to. I get what you're saying, and even what your friend doing as far as staying at the house, my friend wanted to do the same thing because I wanted to go to Mexico, and he said, "Okay, I got a friend's house you can stay at," because he said when you go to the hotels, now the hotels are high price. That's a target too. High price hotels, high price, car rental spaces. All those are places people target and go to. But if I'm at a house, then I just might be a family of the friend coming in, and they don't really target that because their focus is on the hotels, the car rentals, the places where you spend big money. So if I'm going to my friend's house, going to his house, it's just like, okay, well, if I got a foreign exchange student come to my house, they're not a target because they're at my house and then I'm driving them around. So then because I'm blended in, you're blended in. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like a guy, like somebody you can trust. So I would definitely recommend that everywhere. um, they were robbed as well. Crazy part is that they were white guy, probably a fentanyl addict. Okay, fentanyl. Oh, okay, meth addict. Oh man, Zanzi, man, we shit. We've almost talked a whole hour. Jesus. Um, how's your new work schedule? Because we're gonna have to have you come back home.
Yeah, well, most of the time on Sundays I'm going to be free.
Okay,
Now, the last 2 weeks and the two next weeks, I'm working like from 8:30 to 4:30. Well, not next week, the one after. Since I'm working at the office, I'm less available. But if you want to do this in the weekdays instead of on the weekend, It would be like after 6 p.m. I'd be available after 6.
I mean, do you prefer Sunday or you prefer the week days?
It fits my schedule better on Sunday, to be quite
Okay,
honest.
yeah. All right, man. Like I said, I'm just revolve around your schedule, man. You know what I'm saying? So make sure things are straight for you. Yeah, because you know me, man. I'm down to do whenever. Now, I work during the weekday. That's why I'm trying to do all the shows in a certain amount of time. Because when I do it from the truck, man, it's just not. Man, I be having so many technical issues, man. And
Yeah, and I'd hate for you to when you're in the truck, you're pretty good at just looking at the roads and never looking at your phone, so that's good.
right,
But
right.
still, I'd hate
Mhm.
to have an accident because you were streaming. So
Well, it's more or less the. Well, Well, I was more or less talking about the reception. Sometimes it'd be doing a lot of that shit. So when I'm at the house, my internet is constant. I got the lights, even though I have lights in the truck too. But sometimes, man. But no, no,
the choppiness I haven't noticed so much, but the sound is definitely better when you're at home. There's no arguing
right,
that.
right, exactly, right. And then that earpiece I have at the job is acting up on me, man. And I just bought that thing, and I don't have more money to spend on. So that's why I think I'm gonna build more at the house as far as equipment because yeah, driving that truck, man, is like that's a whole nother. Unless I give y'all now, yeah, yeah, it's just a lot of more. It's more technical trouble doing it from the truck. Um, so I might just do like little short skits and. But I don't. I'd rather just do it from the house, especially if I have you on. I want to definitely do it from the house, man, because I don't. Yeah, the truck is it's just kind of it's more risky doing it from the truck.
Yeah, I understand that.
Hmm.
Well, we haven't got time to get in the main subject that I was thinking we would talk about, and if we're it might be better since Yenga was the one asking for the subject, if he could join us next time, if you
Yeah.
have something that you want to ask. I know that I had some things that I wanted to share on my screen because it just so happens that um, about 3 months ago, the network for the indigenous community of Montreal, of which I've worked with for a good amount of time now. They released the decolonization toolbox, and I wanted to share that with the people. So that's a interactive tool that it's available in French and in English.
Okay.
If people want to know more than what we might discuss next time, that's a link that I like to share. But the reason I'm saying that right now is because this week, starting next week, is the Indigenous Festival, the yearly Indigenous Festival in Montreal, uh,
Right.
Présence Autochtone. And right, I don't know if we've got some viewers in Canada, but if you're in Canada, that's a nice festival to come and see all week long. But if you go on the internet, you look for Indigenous Festival Montreal, August. Uh, there are a lot of web activities, right, and documentaries and movies from Indigenous creators. So, if you want to discover a bit about the indigenous communities and their what they want to talk about before next week's show,
Okay.
that's a week full of content on APTN, amongst other that you're gonna find some too on YouTube, and so yeah,
All
that's
right. And then Yanga was under the weather. He said he was feeling real bad. Um, he's going to but no, he'll definitely join us, Zanzi, because I know Deacon asked, where in Canada are you, Zanzi? Quebec, right?
yes, exactly.
Quebec, yeah, yeah, Quebec. Yeah, I definitely want Yang on here for that one. So yeah, that worked out fine. Like I say, he's a little under the weather.
Yes.
Um, we don't know if it's a C19, but we gon' say, Yang, I hope you get better, man. We hoping it ain't the C19, but
Yeah, you get better,
yeah,
man.
yeah. He said he was throwing up and all that. So, but he said he could breathe, so he doesn't think it's COVID. So I don't know. I don't know because I don't
Last
want.
time we
Yeah,
didn't we didn't have any kind of lack of information or subject to talk about, so
yeah.
perfectly fine.
Okay, cool. So Zanzi, 2 o'clock, cool for you again?
Yes, next week I might be at because it's my birthday
Festival.
next week, so I
Okay.
might be a bit buzzier. So it might be better for next week to have it later than 2 p.m. Is 5 p.m. okay with you? Or?
Oh no, 5 p.m. is good. Oh yeah. 5 p.m. is good. So I need to put that in now so I know 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's cool with you, yeah, that's perfect. Actually, that's perfect.
Yeah, because Friday and Saturday I might be gone, and I might come back only on Sunday, so I might arrive a bit later than 2 p.m. So 5 p.m. should be perfectly fine.
And how do you want to title that one, Zanzi? Or do you want to?
Well, if Yanga can be here, talking about the First Nations of Canada would be the subject that it's it's one that if you remember, we've been trying to get me to talk on the arena when we first met back on GTA. So that'd be the great subject. But since Yanga was very interested, if he can't be here, we can do another. Random or miscellaneous news segment like this one.
Okay. Well, he should be better by next week. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If well, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, it's nothing. Hopefully, it's nothing serious. Um, like I say, he said he's not having any respiratory problems, so that's good. You know.
Hmm.
Now I will say when I had got COVID, I didn't have respiratory problems. I had, but I'm vegan, so
Yeah, that mucus is not. We still have
mm,
to.
no, it's not gonna form on me because I don't eat nothing that promotes that. So uh, yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. Like I said, hopefully, but like I said, we got plenty of topics. We got plenty of topics, man.
Exactly. I mean, if in advance Yanga knows that on Sunday he won't be able to make it, you can email me and we can set up a more um, focused subject at that point. Then, if you
Okay, cool. All right, Zanzi. Well, thank you, man. Shout out to the Deacon Twin Yanga. Yanga was in the chat, by the way.
yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, he was watching. Like I said, his voice, he not feeling well, but yeah. So, but man, thank you, Zanzi. So next week, Sunday at 5.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll work for me. That's perfect for me, brother.
Awesome. So, well, thank you for having me again, and thank you for all the viewers and your interest in our discussions.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
Awesome. So, you have a wonderful evening, everybody.
Okay, see y'all out. Peace.